Hello and welcome back to Sakura Angels. Coming! If I stand around here any longer, I fear Sayaka might accidentally hurl the beach ball my way and let me suffer the same fate as our partner. I dash out onto the hot sand, taking care not to stand in one place for too long, for fear of catching a light. Did I mention how hot it was? Hot, hot, hot! Heads up, Kenta! She tosses the ball into the air, leaps, and then spins it towards me with a heavy fist. Oh god, that thing is moving way too fast. There's no possible way I can... Oh. Yep. That's about what I expected. The ball bounces off my head with enough force to leave me seeing stars, and rebounds back towards Sayaka. I sort of hit it back. That counts for something, right? Okay, your turn, Hikari. Not content with just bludgeoning me, she sets her sights on poor Hikari. Again, giving the ball another good thwack. Huh? Still not quite all there, she bops it away with an awkward slap. The ball sails past both of us and lands with a splash, just to the water's edge. Oh. Whoops. I'll get it. She hurries over to collect the ball, but stops in her tracks as her eyes fixate onto something in the sea. At first she squints as if unsure, but very slowly her eyes widen in shock. Huh? I think you should come over here. Hmm? What's up? I feel a twinge of pain strike my skull, my vision blurring for just a moment. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I hope in vain that it's just a normal headache. Maybe started from the beach ball. But as I look at Hikari's face and she stares into the ocean, I know it's going to be something worse. Tell me I'm not the only one seeing this. What are you... Ah! I join the pair by the shore. What on earth are they staring at? I peer out into the deep blue. I'm still not sure what all the fuss is about. I don't get it. Are you guys just messing around? No! Look over there, under the water. Don't you see it? Under? Wait. Was the water always that dark? Hang on. That's a shadow. It's huge! Something is coming up from the ocean, slowly making its way towards us. Why can't I even get a single day off from all this madness? What can only be described as a gargantuan mass of ooze begins to emerge, bringing up half the sea with it as it towers. And towers. And towers over us. It's a grotesque creature that lets out a sinister gargle as it sets what I think are its eyes upon us. It towers up so high that it eclipses even the sun behind it. It has to be at least as big as the common building, if not more so. Are you guys gonna fight that thing? Can you even fight it? You know, given the quality of the rest of the artwork in this game, that's kind of cheesy. Seriously, the artwork in this game's really good. I don't like what they draw, but you know, whoever's drawing it's seriously good at what they do. It continues to drag itself out from the sea, slimy tendrils thrashing as it draws ever closer. I can't imagine conventional weapons even scratching something as big as this. This is no problem. She doesn't sound very sure of herself there, and I don't blame her at all. It moves so slow. Maybe we could just walk away from it? Then again, it might cause complete mayhem if it got any further than the beach. I shudder to imagine the chaos that thing could cause in a busy street. We've got this. Really? Again, you're not filling me with confidence here. And Sayaka hasn't even donned her battle gear yet. Does she maybe realise how useless it is? She's simply analysing it, finger to her chin. These sort of things might be resistant to physical strikes, but magic should tear right through it. At least in theory. Her hand gives off a faint glow as she furrows her brows in determination. Yes! This should work. Watch, I'll take it down with one blast. The light in her hand intensifies, growing into a pulsating orb that hovers just above her palm. I wonder how this magic stuff works anyway. It's always so surreal whenever I see them just casually wield it like this. Something taps me on her shoulder. Huh? Sayaka? Shh. She shushes me with a finger to her mouth before taking hold of my wrist and dragging me a good distance from Hikari, who's still focused fully on the slime. Eventually we end up behind a large rock cropping out from the sand, out of sight of both Hikari and the monster. Understandably, I'm more than a little confused. What's up? Shouldn't you be helping her? Sayaka stifles a giggle and peeks back at the scene unfolding on the shore. It looks like Hikari is just about ready to attack. I don't think she's realised it. Realised what? Well, think about it. That thing is huge. and she's about to strike its core with a blast of pure magic. What do you think will happen, do you? I raise an eyebrow. How the heck am I supposed to know something like that? Sakura sighs before she slaps her hands together. It'll go boom. Explode. Those kinds of shadows are super volatile when you throw magic into the mix. I don't get it. Isn't that a good thing? It's one less monster out to get me. Just watch. A mischievous grin flashes across her face. I wonder if I should call out for Hikari to stop. But as I peek out from our shelter, it's too late. Hikari unleashes the magic she had built up, and it strikes the towering abomination in its centre. And nothing happened. The orb of light was just swallowed up by the slime, as if it had nothing struck it. I don't see what Sayaka was so worried about. Volatile? There was no reaction at... The monster detonates without warning in a dazzling explosion of harsh light that takes over my vision. Shortly after, I hear a terrified cry from Hikari. As the light begins to fade, I hear the pitter-patter of something falling against the sand. Rain? No, the skies are practically clear today. Oh, I think it's much worse. I carefully take another look at the shore, making sure to stay well behind the rocky shelter. Okay, what is it with these people, with the guys who make this game, and covering their main characters in slime? Is there a slime fetish that I'm not aware of? I mean, there probably is. There are some strange people in the world, but okay. It's raining slime. A good amount of the vile ooze continues to coat the beach, all that remains of what was once a giant creature. Huh. I thought that would have put up a bigger fight. At the centre of the mess is a very traumatised Hikari, coated in a great deal of the stuff. The slime around her gives off a violent sizzle. Thankfully it doesn't seem strong enough to cause any real harm, but it ate away a good portion of her outfit. It's, really not a pretty sight. She says nothing. She doesn't even move. She's seized up completely under the foul substance, only occasionally blinking as the situation soaks in. Literally. The rain of slime finally comes to an end, making it safe to step out, though I had to be careful not to step in any of the slime. Ugh. I can't even begin to imagine how Hikari must be feeling. Hikari, are you... Not one word. But I said not one word. Her shoulders are visibly shaking. Uh-oh. The world might have survived the Great Slime, but it looks like we might have someone else that's about to go on a rampage. My, this is quite a mess. Sayaka chirps as she slinks from behind the rock too, a grin across her face. Sayaka, don't even... I wonder what they'd think of all this back home, I wasn't thinking straight. That beach ball you threw at me... Sayaka clicks her tongue and nimbly evades the slime across the sand as she approaches her partner, still bearing the same smug look. Excuses, excuses. I don't even think one of the top students will pull another blunder like this. It's not my fault. Wait, something doesn't make sense. Sayaka? If you knew this was going to happen, why didn't you stop her? Ah, a good point. I could have... But... where's the fun in that? Her smile suddenly looks all the more devious. This girl is pure evil. Why does this sort of thing always happen to me? Hikari lets out a groan as she attempts to pry herself free of the sticky substance that clings to her skin. Be strong, Hikari. Our fun at the beach comes to a rather abrupt and messy end thanks to the unwanted guest crashing the party. Naturally, we couldn't just leave the slime there as it was, so several more hours were spent cleaning it up to make sure the beach safer. It wasn't a fun job, at all. In fact, I think some of that slime must still had some semblance of sentience to it, as it stubbornly fought back against my best efforts to sweep it back into the ocean. Oh man, I can't believe I had to spend a good part of my day off sweeping up a goop off the beach. I can't blame Sayaka though. It's not like she knew this was going to happen when she came up with the idea. But her insistence on watching Hikari make a mess of things didn't help matters. We trudged through the streets, the day well and truly gone. The sun sinks in the horizon, basking the world in a hazy orange glow. Nobody says anything, and I can only see an exhausted face to either side of me. Well, the fuss at the beach really took it out of us. I don't think Hikari has even said more than a few words since she was first covered in slime. Despite the exhaustion, both of them still seem to be on guard, their eyes scanning over the shadows as we continue on. Right, so far with each walk home, Hazuki has ambushed us. A deranged dark angel. It would only make sense if she were to swoop in while we were exhausted like this. It'd be an easy win. I don't even know if the girls have it in them to fight at the moment. But... nothing. nothing attacks us. No mad giggle from the shadows, no more monsters striking from the darkness. Just nothing. It's a bit hard to believe that after all the effort she went to in the past night, she would simply let us go this time around. Well, unless she's deliberately trying to get us to lower our guard and is hidden further up ahead. Ah! I'm getting paranoid now. At the very least, I haven't had any more headaches since the slime at the beach. And usually they're the most intense when I'm confronted by Hazuki, for whatever reason. I'll trust my head. It seems to be the most reliable thing when it comes to these otherworldly encounters. We make it home, not a single dark angel in sight. I part ways with the girls with a lazy wave and a grunt, both of them responding with about the same level of enthusiasm. I think we all just want to pretend today didn't happen. Well, mostly Hikari. I somehow get the feeling she'll probably be the one to remember it the most, however. The rest of the evening is a blur. I think I ate dinner at some point, and maybe I laced around on the couch for a while watching a show that I can't really remember much about before finally crashing for the night. As I'm dragged into my dreams, I get the feeling that something terrible is lurking within them. Something I shouldn't ignore. But all I know is that I won't remember any of this the moment I wake up. Okay, we're finally going to get back to the creepy dreams. Morning arrives. Apparently not. Again. Oh, my head is killing me. Again. Oh, I'm going to bed earlier each night, and somehow I'm feeling more and more like garbage each time I wake up. I don't get it. The only difference today is that the usual cheery rays of the morning sun are nowhere to be seen. In their place is the heavy sound of rain hammering against the window. Pulling back the curtains, today looks to be a gloomy day. Grey skies overhead, casting a depressing shadow on the town. The torrential downpour shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. Great. And I have to go out in this weather and all. And it's not going to be a fun day, that much I can already tell. I stretch and let out a yawn before I stagger towards the bathroom. Wait! My hand hovers over the handle, as I just about stop myself from carelessly swinging the door open. That was a close one. I need to approach the situation carefully. Too many mistakes have been made before. I've been lucky to escape with my life before, but they might not be so forgiving a second time. Okay. Deep breaths. I can do this. I thumped the door a good several times with the back of my fist. Hello? Anyone in there? No response. But I've been fooled before. This proves nothing. I bang on the door again, even louder than the previous time. Nothing. Surely someone would have heard that if they were on the other side. Which means it might be safe? I bring the door open a crack. Just a little and peer through. So far so good. I continue to open the door just a little more, and a little more, until I see it. A most wondrous sight takes my breath away. It's so beautiful. It's enough to move a man to tears. The bathroom is actually empty for once. No wacky misunderstandings, no awkward stares. Oh, I can actually just freely use the bathroom today without the threat of being torn apart. I waste no time in slipping inside and firmly locking the door. I even double, triple check the lock, something they should have been doing too, but always forgot. After a peaceful shower, I make my way down to the kitchen, where Hikari and Sayaka are waiting for me. Ugh, it's awful out there. Hikari gazes out the window, a look of disgust across her face. With the laundry list of other things that annoy her, I guess it's no surprise she hates rain too. Do we really have to go to school today, Kenta? Oh, come on. It's just a bit of water. Hang on a minute. The way they're talking, it implies that their weekend was only 1 day long. Seriously, their weekend was 1 day long. That is a terrible weekend, whatever place they live in. Oh, come on. It's just a bit of water. You're not going to melt in it or anything. Sayaka grins dangerously as something sparkles in her eyes. Uh-oh. It's less harmful than the stuff you got covered in yesterday, anyway. She tries her best to suppress a giggle, but fails, her laughter soon rocking the house. Conversely, Hikari is less than amused. Sayaka! Can we just forget that already? I was stupid and I made a mistake. Big deal. Flustered, Hikari stomps her foot towards her mischievous partner. We haven't even reached the school yet and they're already arguing. I think that's a new record. And besides, I recall it was you who was on the verge of being expelled from the academy at some point with your antics. What can I say? They just don't appreciate a good joke. Joke? You almost blew up the entire... Realizing I am indeed still in the room, Hikari cuts herself short and clamps up. Oh, I guess I'll never be able to hear about this old school of theirs. The magic one that taught them all they know. Let's just leave that for now and agree we've both been stupid at times, okay? Okay. I really don't think it was that bad, though. Anyway, Kenta, how about I cook us all some... No. Absolutely not. But you didn't even let me. I don't need to. If it involves you stepping foot into the kitchen in any way, shape or form, I already know my answer. This time it'll really be... Nope. I'll be careful. Nuh-uh. Aw, you're being... No. Yeah, I'm not letting her or Hikari anywhere near the kitchen again. Even if they do somehow manage to leave the kitchen standing, I'm sure whatever monstrosity they concoct will do more damage to me than any monster lurking out there. Sakura heaves a dramatic sigh and purses her lips in a pout, and gives me a look that suggests I've been nothing but a massive disappointment to her. Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. It doesn't last long, though, before her usual cheery expression takes over again. I think it must be impossible to actually upset this girl. After that little dose of excitement for the morning, I quickly prepare a meal for the three of us, before we set out into town and brave the storm. The rain shows no signs of letting up. It's hard to believe that the weekend was bright and cheerful as it was, when the dark clouds completely eclipsed the sun overhead now. We have nothing but flimsy umbrellas to defend ourselves with, and that barely holds up under the immense downpour. I have my doubts of believing me able to make it to the school dry. I'm not really sure how it got this bad all of a sudden. If it keeps up throughout the day, we won't even have flooding to worry about. I feel a little silly for even having this cross my mind, but I can't help but feel that maybe this is the land lamenting in some way. A sign of things to come. I don't know if I'm even thinking such nonsense, but it wouldn't leave my head no matter how hard I try. There should be a Y in there. Looking back up at the skies, the clouds seem even more sinister than before. We make it to school without drowning. Somehow. Phew! That was pretty intense out there. As we enter the classroom, Sayaka shakes herself dry, her hair swishing wildly. Right beside Hikari. Ugh, watch it! You're like a dog. Hmm? She stops and blinks innocently, the last drops of water splashing to the ground. I can't tell if she's just plain dumb here, or if she really did do it by accident. That's what makes her so scary sometimes. Never mind. Hikari huffs and stomps over to her seat, with class just about to start. I follow suit and crumple into my seat with a sigh. What a depressing day it's turning out to be. As the teacher shows up and the class begins, I give one last look out the window, water streaming so heavily down the glass that I can just barely make out what's on the other side. The lesson goes on, though with each passing moment, I find it more and more difficult to focus on the subject at hand, the writing on the board blurring into an incomprehensible mess. I can feel it, at the back of my skull, a familiar creeping pain. Why here? I never had these headaches at school. They usually do only crop up when something bad's about to happen. I guess it's not full-blown headache, so I shouldn't have anything to worry about for now. But is it a warning? That something's coming? Something I don't know what to make of it at all. Kenta? Are you okay? I hear Sayaka whisper from her seat behind me, a gentle hand to my shoulder. I look to my side and see Hikari giving me an equally worried glance. Did I look that bad? Maybe the headaches are affecting me more than I think. I nod my head and muster up a faint smile. I can just barely convince myself that I'm fine, but it's enough to make them focus back on the lesson at hand. Awfully sorry. Lunchtime arrives and I can just barely recollect what I was taught. What subject even was it? Oh, it's not important right now. At least now I have the time to collect my thoughts and get a grip on the situation. We're going to get lunch, Kenta. Do you want to come with us, or...? Having hopped out of her seat, Sayaka skips to the front of my desk and peers down at me with a grin. I blink. It takes me a good second to register anything that she said to me. Huh? Oh, you guys go ahead. I just have a bit of a headache. Sayaka offers a sympathetic look when I mention the headache. Kenta, about the headaches, that... Hikari pops up out of nowhere and stifles Sayaka with a hand to her mouth before she begins dragging her out of class. Come on, Sayaka. He doesn't need to know any of that, and the queues are going to be too big if we stand around. Sayaka's muffled cries of distress, the last thing I hear before the pair vanish into the corridor. Huh. Wait. Headaches? Does that mean she knows I've been having them frequently? Or more likely, she knows the cause of them. If they know anything that'll enlighten me into this bizarre series of recent events, then I really have to chase them up on it. I can't let something as important as this be slipped under the rug like everything else they tried to keep from me. I rise from my desk with a wobble, my legs not quite aware. They should be at the cafeteria, right? I start for the corridor myself, but someone catches my eye amongst the waves of students going by. Silver hair, amber eyes. A female student marches along with a blank expression. My head rings. Where have I seen her before? It's blatantly the bad guy. I'm sorry, I called this 30 seconds after we bumped into her the first time. You, Kenta, are an idiot. Wait, is she really? There's no doubt about it. She's the Dark Angel that's been making our lives a living hell. She seems like a completely different person right now. Gone is any trace of madness. Alicia right now is an emotionless schoolgirl. Hazuki? Her name falls out of my mouth the moment I come to the realization. Has she always been at this school? How did I not notice something as obvious as this before? Because you're an idiot, I have established this. Our eyes lock across the crowds, and I fear something terrible is going to happen as dread sets in. But her gaze quickly flickers away before she carries on about her business. Huh? She was so intent on getting me before, and now she wants nothing to do with me? Something isn't adding up here. I know it's a stupid and reckless thing to do, but I can't help but chase after her. If I go to Sayaka and Hikari, she might be gone by then. It's hard to keep up with her, as the waves of students crash against me, everyone in a frenzy to get to their lunch, but I just about managed to catch a glimpse of her heading for the staircase. Yuzuki, wait! She pays me no mind and continues to ascend the stairs. Why am I following her? I don't even know what I can possibly get out of this beyond an early demise. Yet I still insist on hiking up the stairs after her. She seems so different. Maybe I'm just secretly hoping that there's more to her than the initial crazed monster that confronted us 2 times before. Something that will help me make sense of this mess. I reach the top floor breathless, after climbing the stairs 2 at a time. I peer out into the corridor to try and see where she might have gone to, but there's nothing. I'm sure I wasn't that far behind. So where did she disappear to? I mean, this is where the stairs end. Unless... would she really be out there? In this weather? I make for the staircase again and go up a short flight of stairs leading to the rooftop. The rain sounds more violent than ever outside. I can't possibly imagine someone willingly wanting to be out there. But I have to check, just to be sure. I fight against the raging winds and heave the door open. Yuzuki? There she is, standing by the fence, gazing out over the town with a hand idly gripping the mesh. Ready the rain to drench her completely, her soaked uniform clinging to her skin. She seems completely unbothered by it though, as if she doesn't feel the rain at all. I've only been out there for a second and I could already feel the urge to sneeze creep up as the chilling rain makes short work of me. Yuzuki ignores me, her amber eyes vacant. At the very least she doesn't seem hostile at the moment. Right now, I think the rain has a more likely chance of killing me than she does. I take a step towards her, my foot splashing into a sizable puddle. What do you want? She responds bluntly. I may as well be talking to a completely different person than the girl that went after my life. I think carefully before opening my mouth. While things are peaceful right now, it might take just saying the wrong thing to set her off. But I can't be too reserved. I want answers. After hesitating for a moment, my voice initially coming out in a croak, I finally confront her. Why are you so set on killing me? I don't understand any of this. What I mean is... why me? She tenses up for a moment at the sound of my voice. I fear I might have said the wrong thing already, but she gradually relaxes again. I'm surprised you even noticed me at all today. Tell me, Kenta, how long is it that we've been in the same class together? What? Has she really been in the same class as me? I'm sure I would have pieced together things a lot sooner if that were the case. Yuzuki lets out a bit of a laugh. You didn't even realise, did you? I'm not sure I may as well be a ghost. Do you know what it feels like to be completely invisible? when no one will even so much as glance my way? Her grip tightens on the fence, the wires sinking into her flesh. What's she talking about? To never be picked as a partner for projects. To never be asked to sit with someone for lunch. To even be ignored by the teacher in class. They all might seem like petty, small things, but over the years they add up. And slowly the hate began to set in. People are selfish and rude and arrogant. And you're probably just thinking, why don't you make the effort to make friends yourself? Well, I guess that thought did come to mind. All I could do is stand and listen as she continues, ignoring the urge to shiver. Do you think I haven't tried? I've tried so hard to fit in, to be social, to talk to people. But after a certain point, the social circles are set and become impassable walls to those looking to join. My cheerful greetings are met with complete indifference. My attempts to talk with classmates are met with painful stares. And it's back home to sit in a dark and lonely room, be able to force myself to come to school. A place teeming with people. And it's here I feel the most lonely. Is it too much to ask for a friend? Someone I can talk to, confide in, have fun with? Just like they do in the TV shows? Is that really so much? So she's just lonely? But why are you... She cuts me off as suddenly as she spins to meet me eye to eye. The vacant stare is gone, and in its place is one of hate, aimed directly at me. But you don't feel sorry for me. None of that matters anymore. Not after tomorrow. Everything will change. Tomorrow. As I ask her, a searing heat surges through my skull and forces a wince out of me. Hazuki smirks at my pain. You can feel it, can't you? She's so close to being free now. With every passing day, her power grows. What are you talking about? Who's going to be free? Oh, as though they haven't told you. Interesting. I wonder why they're so intent on keeping it a secret. Regardless, everything will make sense tomorrow. I'll finally get what I want, and she'll finally get what she wants. Hazuki drifts past me as I struggle to keep upright, the headache refusing to die down. Goodbye for now. Then the next time we meet will be the last. Wait, Hazuki, what are you... It's too late. She's gone. I'm left alone on the rooftop in the pouring rain. I wanted to try to get to the bottom of things, but if anything, I think I'm even more confused now. Okay, I should get back inside now. Right, looking at my timer, that's probably a pretty decent point to end this video. I'd say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next part.